I can't believe it. It's sunny again. It feels like winter just rolled in on us so hard, so fast. But today it is sunny. It's been raining every 30 minutes, so it's not dry, but it is sunny, and that's nice. My eyes can almost not handle it after the darkness. Here we have our new cushion for the settee. We've already got the other one in, and I've been sitting on it all week and really enjoying it. This is 4 inches thick. 4 inch thick, high density foam. Can handle all my weight without feeling the bottom, which is super important if you're making your own cushions for anything you want to sit on for more than like 20 minutes. You gotta make sure that it can handle all your weight without feeling any wood underneath. And speaking of wood underneath, I used door skin, painted it on both sides, and it is the exact size of the seat minus a 1/4 inch, I think, in total, an 1/8 inch on either side, 1/4 inch on all the other sides. So it fits into the groove where the seat kind of, that's why it cups inwards. This fits inside, and then it doesn't move at all. So the 1/4 inch is sucked up by the foam. So you can see the foam kind of extends past the plywood and fabric. And yeah, Deanna and Jay worked hard on this, mostly Deanna. No offense, Jay.
Yeah, mostly Deanna, yeah.
And I really like this. You've gotten really good at, like, the first one, it wiggles a little bit. This one's dead straight.
Almost.
Yeah.
The sewing feet that I got from my sewing machine didn't fit, so
Oh,
I'm
they
still
didn't fit?
using it old school. So
Oh,
it's getting
okay.
better.
Yeah, so we're still working out our gear. We've got one industrial machine here that's not operating yet. We've got Dee's, like, you know, consumer level machine, which has been working really hard on this. So, but yeah, this nice piping along the edge really helps the seat keep its shape. Very comfortable. I'm really looking forward to getting this out. We're gonna go put it on the boat and try it out.
I still have this much fabric left.
Oh, okay.
So I could make pillows, or I could make a really thin layer or something that would sit up on the back of the of your settee area.
It doesn't feel that robust from the outside. It feels quite soft and pliable, but then you see the backside and you see, oh, this is the real skin of it. This is the strength.
Ford blue. So this is what they would use in Ford vehicles
Oh, no
as
way.
upholstery fabric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's why it's so durable. It's going to last you for years and years.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. Haul out is begun. I am now on the rail. Didn't film it because it's pouring rain out there. And we're about to have a lot of bad weather for a lot of days. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. But we might as well get this thing started. First steps first. Time to scrape and pressure wash the boat. Alright, well, it's still pissing rain, so I've only been able to, like, glass and fare in certain areas. There's like a little bit of dripping here, so I can't fare here because water keeps dripping down. But I did manage to fare most of the hull, almost all the way back. I got some more sanding to do. I've also laid in 5 extra yards of fiberglass. So yeah, very productive day despite the rain. There's some, like, high priority stuff down here. High priority. This has to get done. And we're moving steadily towards that. And then there's some lower priority tasks. And well, since we're waiting for this to dry, I'll move on to one of those. that took a while, but I managed to fare the entire underside of the boat, which means one more thing of sanding and one more touch up on the fairing, then primer, paint. Almost there. I'm going to celebrate my success here by, since we still have a little bit of sunshine, I'm going to lay down some fiberglass right here so I can seal this thing up. So the first step is sanding out the rough edges. Second step, pro-fill in for some like little cracks and bits of it, and then glass, and see if I can get that all done today. The sun is already set. It's like what, 3 o'clock? Fuck, it's driving me nuts. Okay, well, 50 inches times 16 feet, not bad, but not the entire thing. We're getting there. I figured I'd do the back, and then I'm gonna shave this lip a little bit, fill it in with a bit of ply, and then glass over the edge to wrap it all together, because there's no point in glassing up to seams. I might as well glass over seams, so you can see I glassed over all of these seams. Yeah, it's gonna stay dry tonight, so it should cure by the morning. First fairing done, second sanding done, time crunch time. This is Saturday, I go back in the water on Monday. I still need to get primer and 2 coats of paint on this, and another coat of filler in there too. So yeah, don't have enough time to wait for the second coat of fairing to dry completely and sand it. So instead, it's only just a few spots that need touching up, so I'm going to do my absolute best to get it completely smooth so that I can just roll some primer onto it and then start painting, hopefully first thing tomorrow. God, I am so dusty. So to make sure that my epoxy cures quickly and also that it works really well, I've heated up this old pot of water on the wood stove. It's quite a few degrees short of boiling. Can still handle it by hand. Put it in with my dirty dishes. Get those dirty dishes out of the way. And then I set the bottle in the boiling, not quite boiling water, and I let it rest. In about 20 minutes to half an hour, that epoxy will be nice and hot. It's quite cool. I wouldn't say it's fully cold. It's not fully winter yet, but it's probably about 10 degrees Celsius out there, maybe 8, so cold enough. Now I'm incredibly lucky to have Old Timers Industries sponsor my epoxy. They give it to me at cost, which is a huge benefit because epoxy is quite expensive. Their stuff is actually quite affordable, and at cost I save a little bit more money, which I kind of lose by shipping it up here and then the conversion rates and everything, because they're based in Idaho. But if you're American, they're even better. Now, the thing I love the most about Old Timers Industries, and I've discovered over time as I've tried to use West Systems and some of the other popular brands, this stuff is super forgiving. Like, super malleable, super flexible, super forgiving. I've had it set in the freaking rain. As long as you don't like submerge it in salt water like an hour after you set it, like everything else has worked out. There's been very few scenarios where it hasn't worked out. It almost never bakes off of my hand, which I really like. It's also never failed to bake because of temperature. I have epoxied in sub-zero temperatures, and so long as you heat up the epoxy first and then sludge it out, it'll still cure. Usually it ends up taking like 72 hours to fully cure. And I don't even sand stuff. Like in that case, I would wait a whole week before you sand it. But right now it's heating up. It's setting within about like 6 hours. It's like good to touch, and then within 24 hours, maybe a little bit more, it's good to sand, which That's pretty good. It's very much a slow acting epoxy. But when it comes to anything structural, that's what you want. You want a slow acting epoxy. You want it to cure reliably over a longer period of time, give you that nice flexibility and strength that you're looking for in epoxy that you don't necessarily get in polyester. All right, so while that warms up, I'm going to sip a little coffee and then clean myself off. Well, the prime coat is done, and now we're trying to get what I'm affectionately calling the armpit, because if I'm hanging my arm out, it just hangs out down here. It's the armpit of the boat. All right, so I've talked about these before, and my boat is a Warham catamaran. These are V-shaped hulls. Unlike modern catamarans that have U-shaped hulls, these dig into the water. It dropped a bit more than the average multi-hull. Because these hulls dig in a bit more, there's a lot more forces on them. So for instance, if I have waves coming this way and my boat's going this way, I slam into it with my starboard bow. Well, the starboard bow is gonna wanna come in, but the port side hull is way off doing its own other thing. The wave hasn't even come anywhere near it yet. So those forces cause the hulls to dance around a little bit. Now usually these Polynesian canoe cats are basically just two canoes, beams that link them, and then you build on top of the beams. However, mine are, as you can tell, quite tall, and so if I were to build it in traditional style, the cabin would be like 14 feet off the ground, even more. And that's a lot of windage to deal with. They don't make for great sailors in any kind of windy scenario. So instead, what I opted to do was to sink the bridge deck down a little bit. I'm still twice as high as the average Laguna, so hopefully the waves won't slap that much. We'll see what happens in the long run. So the compromise is this. This has to be able to flex. These hulls have to be able to move independent of one another. That means this bridge deck cannot be glassed directly to these hulls. It has to rely on a series of shelves and a series of sliding pockets for it all to sit proper. That means I cannot glass that seam. Still want it watertight, so we're adding a strip of wood and we're embedding it with a good amount of Sikaflex. Should make for a nice flexible joint that keeps the water and the wind out. show us the new pieces of hardware here. That's it. Machine bronze, rack and pinion, or pinion gudgeon? What's the nautical terms? I can't remember. Oh. But yeah, old bronze hardware, new bronze hardware, and a few new bolts. And we're ready to put them on. No longer rudderless! Completely out of control, I'm no longer rudderless!
There you go, my friend.
Feels good, feels really good. Rudders. Rudders. That feels so good. Oh, I've got some nice custom hardware that we'll be installing here in a little while to support these, because these are pure stainless and really heavy and really thick. And these rudders aren't light either, but oh man, that's exciting. Okay, it's the last day. I bought an extra day. The schedule was open so that I could hang those rudders without standing in deep water. Everything worked out okay. I worked well into the night anyways, painting and stuff, so I'm so tired. That was an 8-day haul out, 8 days. So I have to go run off to the food bank and go to work. And then when I come back, we're going to launch this boat. And this is the end of the haul out. I want to give a massive thank you both to the patrons who funded the haul out and to everyone who in the past has come out and helped me, especially during haul outs, because, oh my God, I'm so tired. I was like, it's not just that I'm tired, it's I have to stand sideways all the time. And I feel like I can't even relax on the boat because I'm like just wasting energy just standing sideways. It's gonna be so nice when I get back in the water.